Welcome to today's video. We're talking about the cold air, everybody, and what's going on. There might be a little bit of a warm up this week in some spots, so let's get started. All right, everyone. So this is what last night looked like at February 1st, 11 p.m. Parts of Ohio, we had single-digit temperatures, negative temperatures in some parts of Ohio. Minnesota, we got some single-digit temperatures. Wisconsin, we got some single-digit. Illinois, we got some single-digit temperatures. Michigan, we got some single-digit temperatures. Indiana, we got some single-digit in teens also. Then we got some in Florida. We got 20s, guys. Temperature. That's not wind chill. That's just temperature. The 20s and 30s in Florida. Texas, we got 20s. Nebraska, we got in the 40s. No, not the 40. 30s, 40s. It looks like 20s. It looks like California. Looks like we got some 60s and 50s and 40s. We can see. Also Nevada, we got looks like that too. 40s. Then we could see for that also. All right. So and up in the New England states, we could have some like negative temperatures too. Then let's move on. What is this thing doing? Let's move on to Monday afternoon. So down in Texas, looks like we have 60s also. We can see we got some 60s and potentially close to 70 in some parts of Texas. In Oklahoma, we got some 50s and close to 60 maybe. Arizona, we got some 80s and 70s. In California too. Ohio, we got some 20s. Pennsylvania, we got some 20s. In New York, we got some teens in the New England states. Minnesota, we got some single digit teens. And Wisconsin too. We can see also in Florida too. We got some looks like some 40s and 50s in Florida. We can see also North Carolina. We got some 20s. South Carolina. We got some 20s and 30s. We can see in Virginia. We got some teens and 20s. Kentucky. We got some teens and 20s. Kansas. Looks like we got some 30s also. Missouri too. Nebraska. Colorado. Looks like we could have some 40s also. In 50s in some spots. In Idaho, we have some looks like some birdies in 40s and 20s too. All right, so let's move on, everybody, to Tuesday morning. So Tuesday morning, we could have -10 temperature up in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and some single-digit temperatures and negative temperatures too. Ohio looks like we have some teens and 20s. Looks like more 20s on the one of 20s. Texas looks like we have some more 60s, 50s, 40s. Oklahoma 50s, 40s, birdies in Kansas. Looks like too. We can see also Florida. Looks like we got some Florida looks like we got some birdies too. North Carolina. We got some 20s. Virginia, we got some 20s. Pennsylvania, we got some teens. Maine, we got some negative temperatures in some of the New England states. Nevada looks like we got some birdies. Idaho, we got some birdies in 20s. Montana, we got some 20s too. And it looks like parts of Wyoming looks like we have 20s and teens in some spots also we can see on there. So let's move on to Tuesday afternoon. All right. Tuesday at 5 p.m. we got parts of Texas. Looks like we could have in the 80s a little. 70s and 80s in Texas. Minnesota looks like we're in teens. Wisconsin looks like we're in the teens, higher teens, lower 20s. In Michigan too. Michigan we got some 20s. Ohio we got some 20s and maybe even birdie. Some parts of Ohio. Pennsylvania we got some 20s and birdies. Florida got some 60s and maybe 70. Well, some spots. California looks like we got some 80s. In Arizona we got some 80s and 70s. Nevada we got some 70s. California we got some 70s. Uh, Oregon looks like we got some 60s too. Idaho looks like we got some 40s too. In Montana too. So let's move on, everybody. All right, Wednesday, February 4th morning. Looks like we have some negative temperatures in Ohio. I think -5, -3 in Pennsylvania, -7. Minnesota looks like we have some single-digit temperatures and teens too. We can see in Wisconsin looks like we have some negative temperatures too. Florida looks like we could have some 20s too. Again, 20s are birdies. More birdies I think we could have. South Carolina we could have some 20s and birdies in North Carolina too. You can see on there. In Texas we could have some birdies in 40s and 50s too. You can see on there. California looks like we have some 50s and 60s too. Up on there too. You can see. So we can see on there, parts of California looks like has some 40s too. So let's move on. All right, let's move on to Wednesday afternoon, everybody, at 5. Looks like we have some 20s in teens in Ohio. More 20s looks like. Pennsylvania, we have some 20s. New York, we have some 20s. New England states, we have 20s. Minnesota, we have some 20s. Iowa, we have some 20s. Kansas, we have some 40s in birdies. In Nebraska, too. In Missouri, we have birdies. Kentucky, we have birdies. Virginia, we have birdies, too. Florida, we have 70s, too. Texas, we have 50s and 60s. Arizona looks like we have some higher 80s, looks like. California, we have some 60s and 70s, too. Looks like Nevada, we have some 40s, looks like, in there, too. So, parts of New England states, we have teens and 20s. In Minnesota, we have some teens also. You can see on there. Alright, so let's move on to Thursday morning. So, Ohio looks like we have some single digits in teens and maybe potentially negative temperatures, too, up in Ohio. You can see North and South Carolina, we got 20s. North Carolina, we have some teens too. Georgia, we could have some 20s also on there. Louisiana, we could have some birdies too. Texas, we could have some birdies. Florida, we could have some 40s. Looks like parts of North Dakota, we could have birdies. Nebraska, we could have some birdies. Kansas, we could have some birdies. Most of the country looks like it's in the birdies. Then we have parts of Arizona that's in the 50s and 60s too. We can see on there too also. So down up in the New England states, we have negative temperatures in the morning, in Pennsylvania too, in New York too. All right, let's move on to Thursday afternoon, around 5. Texas, we have some 60s. Arizona, we have some 80s. California, we have some 70s too, and 60s. Also Nevada, we have some 40s and 50s and 60s, and some spots or 70s. South Carolina, we get some more birdies in 40s in Georgia. Looks like. The Minnesota looks like we got some birdies too on there in 20s. You can see. Ohio, we got some 20s too. In Pennsylvania, we got some teens too on there. On New England states, we got some birdies. No, not birdies. I'm sorry. Teens. I meant. Sorry. Then we got parts of Arizona that's in the 70s or 80s too. We can see on there. Then we got parts of Idaho that's in the birdies and 40s. Montana is in the 40s and 50s, we can see on there, closer to 60 in some spots. And parts of North Dakota is in the 20s in birdies too. In Minnesota, we got some birdies. Michigan, we got some 20s we can see. In Illinois, we got some birdies too. Indiana, we got some 20s in Ohio too. We can see in North Carolina, looks like we got some 20s in birdies also in some spots. South Carolina, we got some 40s. Georgia, we got some 40s. In parts of Florida, we got higher 60s and lower 70s. In Texas, looks like we got some 60s and 70s on there. All right, so let's move on to Friday morning. So Friday morning looks like in Ohio, we could have higher 20s. It looks like mid-20s. In Illinois, we could have birdies closer to Illinois and Indiana. We could have birdies. Kansas, we could have higher birdies. Texas, we could have 40s, looks like. Also, Nebraska, we could have birdies. To Iowa, we could have birdies. Then Missouri looks like we could have birdies. Florida looks like we could have 40s again and birdies also. In parts of Florida, we can see. Then it looks like pretty much this will be it after this. So Friday at noon in Texas, we could have 50s and 60s in some parts of Kansas, 60s. Missouri, we could have birdies in 40s too. In California, we could have parts of California, we could have 60s and 70s too. In Arizona too. In Florida, we could have 60s again too. So I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching. I see you guys in the next one. Make sure to subscribe and notification bell. You might never miss a video like this, guys. Okay, guys. See you guys in the next one.